Welcome to the Driven Moms Answering Adversity interview series, Stories of Success Through Setbacks from Mom Elevated. Together, we can shine a light on how normal challenges and struggles are, along with how we can overcome and rise above them. Today, we have Hira with us to share her story, and I cannot wait. I'm so excited to share this story with you. Can you just tell us briefly a little bit about your story?
Okay, I'm so glad to be here. And yeah, of course, the story is a bit longer than what you're used to hearing. I'll just try to keep it short. But with me, I've been through a very long journey of career transitions, making it work while I was a student, because I always had a passion for writing. So I started back when I was in school in 10th grade. I started writing for a magazine. And then this girl, she doesn't know that there are so many opportunities out there. And I was like, okay, so I'll become the next J.K. Rowling, or I'll become the next R.L. Stein. I was very much into horror at that time as well. So, or I'll become the youngest author in my country or something like that. So, well, I just got into that, and then a freelancing agency approached me, and then I started writing a bunch of articles for them, and then got I started getting paid well, which was incredible. In like 2010, 2011, I was 17-year-old, and I was getting paid. I was having my own pocket money. It was incredible. And then I started trying to catch up with things, with my studies. I was doing applied psychology, wanted to become a clinical psychologist. I am crazy about psychology and habits and mindset and all of that. And that sort of transitions into what I'm doing right now. But then around 2014, I took a break, and then I focused on my studies. In 2016, I got married. And then in 2018, I had my firstborn. And I remember the day that I looked at her, I was like, okay, that's, party time is over. Now you have to become very laser focused on what you want to do in your life. And my child, my firstborn, my daughter, is my why. And then I again started learning, and then I made it work as a copywriter, as a social media strategist. I've been all over the place. I've written for tech, I've written for wellness brands, I've written for coaches, I've collaborated with copywriters and mindfulness coaches. So later down the line in 2020, 21, when COVID hit in 2020, at the end of 2020, I was like, okay, businesses are transforming. Entrepreneurs are getting, all of this, going through a chaos and overwhelm. And I believe in supply and demand. I believe in solving the problems that are happening in the world, real world problems. I'm not going to create an offer and shove it down anyone's throat if that is not what they need. My solutions have always been very personalized. So what I did was I started my visibility coaching program. And since then, as a visibility strategist, I've helped so many women, moms as well, moms to be, girls who are in college, celebritize their presence, do what they love, and create a business out of what they really want to do in life. So combining like sugar, spice, and everything nice, and then adding the X factor, and then making an offer that works for them. So my journey has been, it's been incredible. It's been full of lessons. It has transformed me, who I am as a person. And yeah, it's been amazing.
I think that's beautiful. Also, the sugar and spice and everything. That's very catchy. I like that a lot. So in amongst all of that, that's quite the journey, first of all, and amazing that it started when you were so young. But what would you say is like the biggest or some adversity that you have answered because of that kind of situation, and how did you answer that adversity?
Okay, so there have been quite a few adversities. I mean, I'm grateful for all that I have, but I guess there comes those 2 to 3 key moments in your life when you're like, okay, so I need to get over this thing. How do I do that? And I feel like as a mom who is living in South Asia, I'm from Pakistan, women around me don't do what I'm doing. Most of the women around me. I know only 1% of the women who are doing what I'm doing, who are copywriters or coaches in Pakistan. Then we have our Desi households. We are very, we socialize a lot. We have a lot of responsibility on women in our families. To build a system that is suitable to me and my family, that was one adversity. Everyone was supportive, but then again, whatever you're doing, if you're a single mom, if you've recently gotten out of a bad relationship, or if you failed at your previous business, or if you've gotten fired, I think all of that kind of needs a sort of, you need to build a system to get out of that. And that is what I did. And then again, working from this part of the world for clients who are from another part of the world, and then getting to understand their culture, their problems, and then just align everything with who I am as a person, because I don't want to do a disservice to anyone. I always tell them, okay, so I'm from this part of the world, and it doesn't matter because now I've tons of experience. I've been working for many years, but back then I used to tell them, okay, so and nobody thought that it was a problem, but in my mind, I had to get out of that that mindset, that block, that okay, I'm from another part and I might not be able to fit in. And I didn't fit in, but then I realized that's okay. That's what my X factor is. I don't fit in, but I do make it work still. So yeah, those are some of the adversities. And then there's obviously what all moms face, the time management factor, the mindset management factor, the way how you create your routine and stick to it, how you manage multiple launches, how you manage 2 different businesses. I'm still struggling to keep a track of my website copywriting projects, and then also my coaching projects, because I want to give my 100% to both of them. And then I also had my second born. He's 4 months old now. So just managing all of that, and then keeping track of everything, and also having fun while doing it, because that is what life is all about.
And probably kind of why you started it in the first place. You enjoyed it. You found it
Yeah.
exciting and fun. And so if you lose that, I mean, that makes it it makes it more work.
Yes, and I think people nowadays don't want to do work. They want to have fun. They want to have financial freedom. They want to, and they deserve that. I mean, all of us, we deserve that. And thanks to the internet and how, close we've become through social media. I mean, I wouldn't have connected with all of the people like we just connected, I think, a week ago, 2 weeks ago, and we wouldn't have been able to do that 2 decades ago. I just posted this on my Twitter that, this wouldn't be happening 2 decades ago. And we live in a very wonderful time, and we should be, doing stuff that we love.
Yeah, and embracing that a little bit. I think it's beautiful that that's kind of what you found you needed to do, was embrace not only the differences, but how those differences maybe elevated what you do in a way. And I find it really interesting because I also work with a lot of people from different countries, and the cultural differences are really important. But I also find it really fascinating if you go at it from like a curiosity level instead of a, oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm doing. If you're just like, oh, well, let me learn about this. It's really, really exciting. I worked with someone in New Zealand, and being able to kind of learn, yeah, they have their own native tongue. And so like when she would type out some posts that I'm doing, I was like, wait, I don't even know what that means because it's a completely different language. And so taking the time to go and either ask what it means or go discover what that means, that gives a whole new perspective on what they're doing, how they're doing it, why they're doing it. And it's so interesting to dive into that. But on that note, what do you think it is about entrepreneurs?
I am kind of walking through what
Yeah.
you just said, because I've been through that journey myself. Yeah, working with uh, retired moms and working with veterans and working with 60 years old, and then also working with 20-year-olds, and from people all over the world, from all different ethnicities and also all different religions, and collaborating with coaches who belong to a different religion, and they bring that aspect into their coaching from a spirituality point of view, but then also, being able to find that the core message of everything, of every culture, of every religion, of every nationality, it's one. It's again, doing what you love, having empathy, living a full life, being kinder to yourself.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
insane.
And
Yeah.
having some integrity with what you're doing, I find is something that's huge for a lot of people as well. What do you think it is about entrepreneurs that makes us continue through challenges without giving up when those times do get tough? Because there are those, those hills and those valleys that you have to get through. What is it about entrepreneurs that's like, we're gonna do this, we're gonna get through it?
Oh wow, that's such a great question. That's an amazing question. And I think my answer would be that entrepreneurs are very clear on their why. It's not one thing that makes us, my why would be different than yours. It's not that one thing that is, universal for all entrepreneurs. I think we all have our own reasons why we're doing something, whether it's our kids, whether it's, you know, something that we wanted since our childhood, whether it's having a passion, whether it's wanting to help other people. But I think whatever that why is, it kind of amplifies and we build on it. I started my business for my kids, to give them an incredible life. But then you start developing layers, because there comes a time when you're doing that, when you're giving them a comfortable life, but you still want to do more. And then you begin to think, okay, so why do I want more? And then you find out, okay, maybe I want to teach more people how to do this thing what I'm doing. And then when you do that, you want to do more, you want to make a bigger impact, and it just builds on, it just
I
goes
love
on.
I love that answer. That's so true. It definitely morphs and changes and evolves as you continue on. That's I just had this conversation yesterday with somebody about how I started for my kids too. Different reason of why I started for my children, but it has evolved so much from there, and it's okay. It's okay to let it evolve. And I think sometimes we get so attached to our original why that it's hard to let it change and evolve, so I love that. I think that's beautiful.
Yes, I just love what you just said, because attachment to your original why is again something that I guess moms can't let go. I don't know about other people, but us moms we're too attached to just, that family aspect of our business. Are we taking care of our family? Is this business taking care of my family? And then at one point you have to think, okay, it is, but then it's also more than that, because there's that capacity, um, that space where it can evolve into. And it's bigger than family. It's about community at that point.
Yes, I think that's beautiful. Absolutely. So from your story, from your experience, what takeaway or lesson do you think other mompreneurs would be able to use?
Okay, there are a lot of takeaways, but there are some things that I would want to use your platform, because you're doing an incredible thing. I'm having goosebumps while talking to you, because just thinking about, I was on the other side of whoever is listening. I've been one of you, all of you. I've been listening to podcasts, to interviews, to YouTube videos like this, and thinking, can that person be me? Are thinking, okay, is that really true? Whatever they're talking about, that sounds too good to be true. But the thing is that it can be true. But the stuff that you need to do on a very, very, if I'm talking about the actions that you need to take, it's being very consistent with your efforts. Consistency is what has gotten me here. Not giving up, taking care of yourself as well, but also knowing that what sometimes you might be getting, you might be seeing on the internet, or what you might be hearing other people say does not apply to you. I found out after 2-3 years of trying to do what other people were trying to do, that that is not working for me. And that is why I launched my newsletter, The Atypical Entrepreneur. And that is why, that is how I coach women, because what other people are saying, it is not going to work for you. And when it doesn't work, we sort of give up. But the thing is, we have to create our own systems. We have to listen to our own intuition. And sometimes even intuition is overrated. Sometimes you develop that intuition, you harness that voice once you do a lot of trial and error. So learning along the way, being very consistent, taking action every day. Imperfect action is the way to go. That is my key takeaway. Just start taking imperfect action today. It does not matter what people just start assessing their results after 1 week of action. That is not how you do it. You have to wait years and years before the results start coming in. It's not like you're not going to start, if you're not earning at the moment, you're not going to start earning in 6 months. No, we're talking about building a brand. We're talking about that big vision that you have. It's going to take years, but you have to attach yourself to the process. At this point, I don't even care about the destination. I am so attached to the process of where I'm going, because I know time is flying. I'll never be what I am today in this moment. A 28-year-old, I won't be a 28-year-old mom with my 4-month-old and 4-year-old daughter and son. This time will not come back. So I have to attach myself to the process and have fun while doing it. So yeah, that would be another key takeaway.
I love it. That is beautiful. That is perfect. The imperfect action absolutely is like, yes, that is key, 100%. Because we get so afraid of what might be, or what might be wrong, or what might be the way we should be doing it, that we just don't do it at all. And then you're quitting on yourself before you give yourself a chance. So I love that so much. That is imperfect action. Absolutely is key. Thank you for sharing that.
Oh, I have so many key takeaways, because every day is a new lesson. I read a lot. You're only seeing just like a tiny bit of my collection. All of my other books are in another room. I read a lot. I learn a lot from my mentors. I watch a lot of videos, and then I learn a lot from people like everyday people. If I have a house help coming in, she has so much integrity. I see that, and I learned that. And everyone that is around me, I sort of have a journal, and then I just write down my key takeaways. I have like hundreds of them. But yeah, imperfect action is just, it's the biggest one. It's
Yeah.
going to keep you moving through hard.
I think that's great. Well, and that's how you learn what works for you, because obviously there's gonna be so many things you're filtering through, and you're reading and you're seeing, oh, this is the way you should market this. This is how you should be doing your business. But really, that's just a guide of what worked for somebody else. So you can take what worked for them, and you can take the pieces and see how it fits into what works for you, is really what I always tell everybody. I'm like, yeah, those aren't like how-to guides for every business. That's just this worked for me. Maybe it'll work for you. And if it doesn't, that's okay.
You're allowed to make changes.
Yeah.
I just recently read this book, the 10x rule, and the main message is that whatever you're doing right now, you need to 10x your efforts. And that does not apply to me, a person who has sort of fragile mental health, because I have so much to do, who has a lot of, who has a family to take care of, who has kids to take care of. I cannot just indulge myself in 10x actions. Maybe it might have been possible if I was single. I had, I was living in a different routine than I am now, but it's not possible for me at this moment. But I did sort of filter that in to apply on one system. I did 10x my outreach. I was changing niches. I was before I was working for social media. I was providing social media strategy to coaches, course creators, entrepreneurs, and now I'm doing website copy for wellness brands, cruelty-free brands, tech, all of that stuff. So I just shifted over to website.
Yeah.
And what I did was I 10x my efforts on just one single area of my life. That was my tunnel vision. And that's how you get results. You don't have to 10x everything in life, and you don't have to apply every advice to your life as it comes. You can just like tailor it to your own personality, your own goals, and also have fun while doing it. You know, having fun is so important.
My interpretation of that is that you 10x your intention behind what you were doing instead of every single effort that you were doing. I think that's great. So
Yeah.
what is the best way for others to find you if they'd like to work with you or learn more?
Okay. Well, there are quite a few ways to find me. I'm most active on Instagram.
Okay.
My handle is at Hira Osama social. I think you maybe can just drop in anywhere when you're giving a description. And then also reach out to me at hello@hiraosama, HIRAOSAMA.com. That is my email. Find me through my website, hiraosama.com. Everything is Hiraosama, Hiraosama. I optimize my profile so people can find me. And then, yes, also LinkedIn, Twitter, wherever. I'm most active on Instagram, and I check my emails every single day.
Okay. And I will
Yeah.
definitely drop the links in the description, the comments, and everywhere I post so that they can get a hold of you easier too. But that way, if they're just listening, they can also find you.
I
That's
would love to. If you're listening, you must let me know that what key takeaways you had from this episode. I love getting replies. I mean, I did a few podcasts back in 2021. And then I have some emails and some messages coming in. Oh, I saw your podcast, and I was, oh my God, wow. And then also this feeling like, oh my God, I used to be so dumb back then. What was I saying? I've learned so much. What was it? Oh, but they're incredible podcasts. It's like I'm judging myself at that moment, but yeah.
so funny. I do the same because I've gone back and seen because my business itself has even shifted so much. So I go back and I was like, what was I even saying then? What was I even doing at that time? That's so great. Well, thank you
Yeah.
so much for joining us today. It has been such a pleasure. I can't even. Your story is so inspirational, and your willingness to be open about it is very much appreciated and needed in this space. I
I
love it. I appreciate you.
I had so much fun talking to you. It feels like I know you for so long. And I'm sure we'll have more chats down the line as well, because I love this connection. And I love your questions. I think asking the right questions is so key for anything in life, you know.
That's our job too. We're here to pull that out of you, right? So that's, yeah.
It was really fun. I had an incredible time.
Me too. I'm so grateful. And for those of you out there who are facing your own adversity, know that you are not alone. That's why we're doing this, so that you know you are not alone on this journey, that we have been there, we are there, we're going through it now still. And when you need an extra hand or mind for brainstorming during your mompreneur journey, we would love to work with you through the Mom Elevated Society. You will find monthly check-ins and for goal setting and assessing, and so much more for both your business and your mom life. Until next time, keep shooting for the stars.